Hello and welcome back to this second session on bulk clone professional for cloud. In this video, we're going to actually clone a scenario where we have multiple input sources, so multiple projects going in, and clone that into one merged project as a target. So this might be particularly useful if you will have, for instance, different test cases that you need to merge into a single project, or if you would have platform requirements and additional requirements that needs to be merged into a new project for development or testing, or if you will just have different tickets from different projects that needs to be merged into one single project. So you can equally, as in use case scenario number 3 here, multiple input projects, just create a JQL filter and then get to work. So let's get to work. So in this particular example here, I don't want to use a prefix, no clone links. I want to clone my subtask, my attachments, carry over any inherited labels. There is no rebuild of any hierarchies or any parent links, but I do want to alter the output basically on things that we do clone. So hitting next, we will get into the map project and work types. So as you can see here now, we will have the Gladiator 2 project and the issues coming from that project. I choose to redirect that into the Gladiator 6 project. That's the target project we are cloning to, and it's still the same epic type. I choose not to edit any sort of custom fields or any standard fields here. I just choose whatever value they have in themselves. The mandatory fields though needs to be chosen because that's the way I configured my project to work. And in this particular example here, I also added a mandatory custom field, actually 2 mandatory custom fields here, which I also need to fill in. Same thing goes for the story, right? I want to redirect that to the same Gladiator 6 project, stories. This one, however, I want to alter the field output a little bit. So I want the radio buttons here to choose a cinema version. So all of the stories should have a cinema version as a default value. And equally, the mandatory fields, they need to be filled in because that's how I configured my project. And the user is required. And these custom fields are also required. Of course, you could have different field configurations for different field issue types if you want to. In my case, I have the same for all of the issue types. Gladiator 2 for the subtasks, I clone it into the same project. However, here I don't care about the custom field values. I just choose the mandatory fields to speed it up a little bit. And we select this custom field, mandatory custom field. Now note here, when we get into this one, it actually shifts the input project, right? So it was coming from the Gladiator 2 before, the input source. Now it's switching over to the Gladiators project. But I want to merge that into the same output project, right? And same issue type. In this particular case, I do want the radio buttons custom field also again to be applicable. And I do want, or I do have to fill in the mandatory fields to get to the next step in the cloning process, because we don't allow values to slip here if they're mandatory. Same thing here. We have the subtask. We clone it to Gladiator 6. I ignore in this case to alter the fields on the way out. I just fill in the mandatory fields. And the last one here. One important thing to notice here is that if you take a look at the prompt down here, you can actually see that since I haven't set the last issue type here for for the project, it actually, you cannot proceed to the next step. So this is what it is expecting at this point in time. So gladiators to gladiator 6, same merge project, and in this case it's the epic. I inherit all the values which are in there, so I won't alter this target fields. I just fill in the mandatory field, and then we are pretty much set to go. And now you can see that the required fields are counting down as we are filling in the stuff here, right? So this is my sort of confirmation screen. So this scope is more than one project then. So the input is actually for 2 projects, and it's merged into a single project with all the issues that are relevant for that one. Let's start cloning. So it's all looking good so far, right? So it's about 16% done right now, 7 out of 36 issues. So we'll let it clone through. And what is worth noting here is that if something would go wrong, these green checkbox marks here, they will appear as red X marks, basically. That will force you, or that will trigger you, I would say, to move into the log afterwards and check it out. We will move into the log once we have cloned all the issues here. But it's making good progress, and soon we will be done basically with the cloning operation for these 2 input projects, merged into the Gladiator 6 project in this case. Almost there. Right, so now it's done. We press the acknowledge, and then it will show the result basically, right? So this is what now been merged into the output Gladiator 6 project. And the way it identifies them again, it's by this unique label, right? So there are several thousand issues in this project, but the way we actually differentiate them is by this unique label here. So now let's take a look at the log. So if we are curious, now the cloning operation went well here, but it could have gone wrong. So if we wanted to see what the output of the cloning session was, we could get some more detailed info in here and inspect it afterwards. You could even send this to us as a company if you wanted us to error search something that has caused some problems for you. So with that, we have covered the use case scenario of cloning from the different multiple input sources of projects, merging it into one output project. Thank you for listening.